Shift over to a trial we've been covering for weeks at this point. What week are we in right now? 8 weeks. Okay, that's what I thought. We're 2 months of this trial. Actually, more than 2 months, considering the build-up and pre-trial stuff. But we're talking about a Karen Reed trial. So Karen Reed is charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating a vehicle under the influence and leaving the scene. Accused of striking John O'Keefe, her Boston police officer boyfriend, with her SUV back in 2022 and leaving him to die alone in the snow outside of a house party in Canton, Massachusetts. Now, witness testimony is continuing today after tensions ran high yesterday. On Monday, the defense called, and Carlene, you were here for that. On Monday, the defense called for a mistrial over the prosecution's questioning of an accident reconstruction expert, Dr. Daniel Wolf. Again,
That's the second time they've called for it.
Wow, yeah. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man, so it was.
It's been a heated morning already between the two. It's already been, yeah.
It's been like that.
It's been spicy, yeah.
Well, let's take a listen into what's happening right now.
Quality assurance. First, the medical examiner conducts the autopsy and writes a report. Then the doctor herself, the chief medical examiner, because she is a perfectionist, determined that she was going to establish a protocol in which she would put eyes on every single report. Hundreds and hundreds of reports per year. In doing so, she had to prioritize which reports were going to take a priority, which ones were being subject to litigation, which ones were going to be subject to criminal cases, and which ones were never going to be subject to any review at all. For instance, if somebody was found, let's say somebody that was without family, etc., found and unidentified, there's no litigation attendant to that report, she would put that report aside and get to that report after she dealt with the reports that were on sort of on the front burner, if you will. After, by the way, none of the reports were ever not done. They were all completed. There were a small fraction of reports, according to the audit and according to Dr. LaPosada herself, that had to take a back seat. When the medical director came in 2005, by the way, this is 25 years ago, right? These are autopsies that were performed, and the audit was performed for autopsies and reports dealing with the year 2000. It's 2025. This is 25 years ago. When the new medical director came in for Rhode Island, he said, I don't want any review of any of the reports because it's more efficient and it's faster to get the reports out in a timely fashion. She resisted and said, I will never, ever, and she was published saying this, I will never, ever sacrifice quality for speed. I want the highest quality coming out of this office. They had a difference of opinion. She walked away because he was asking her, the new medical director was asking her to sacrifice quality of the conduct that she was undertaking as the chief medical examiner for the state of Rhode Island. So it's a very different circumstance than was just suggested. No bodies were ever left unattended, ever. Certainly did not involve the other phrase that was just used is negligence and malfeasance. It was a backlog, and they had a very public political fight over it. Number two, with regard to the Station nightclub fire, her staff was on location immediately. She, as the chief medical examiner, was there the same day. So that's of no legal moment. That's of no consequence. It certainly has nothing to do with her opinions and conclusions in this case. The Tompkins case, we've already talked about that in voir dire, Your Honor. The Tompkins case dealt with an issue dealing with accident reconstruction, which she's not undertaking. I'm not asking her, and she ain't saying.
I've excluded that part of it, based partially on the Tompkins case.
Right, and I don't know anything about the Patino case, and what I would say is, given the fact, look, we don't know what the facts of that case were. We don't know what the trial was about. We don't know what the cross-examination was about. We don't know why she was called. We don't know what she looked at. We don't know why she was looking at what she did look at. We don't know why she didn't look at things that she might not have looked at. We don't know why her opinions and conclusions were ultimately rendered. We would have to have a trial within a trial, which I would be happy to undertake if someone gives me a file. Happy to do that. But I don't think we want to do that. I don't think the court wants to do that. Also, I will say, I don't think that attacking this witness's credibility is in good faith by the Commonwealth. Mr. Brennan himself has hired Dr. La Posada personally no fewer than 4 or 5 times. Maybe it's 3 or 4 times. He knows her qualifications. He knows the quality of her work. He's actually undertaken to consult with her as a medical examiner and a consultant. So I don't believe that these last 2 issues are in good faith. I don't believe the station fire has anything to do with anything because she was late, according to Mr. Brennan, in coming to the actual location. She was there the same day, and she had an entire staff that was there immediately. And in terms of the audit, it's a 25-year-old political fight that isn't quite what Mr. Brennan made it out to be. So I don't think any of these things are relevant for cross-examination. I'll submit.
All right.
I just want to make a note that Attorney Jackson has a way with words to just inflate or make things up. I have not hired Dr. La Posada 4 or 5 times. And so that is just a mischaracterization which he likes to do for the public. But the reality is I've used her a few times, and the last time I used her, I'm not going to disclose why I don't use her anymore because it would be unfair without her in the room. But the suggestion that somehow I'm endorsing the qualifications of this witness, I am not. That's what I'm going to say on the record.
Okay. So the first 2, the backlog issue, if we can call it that, with the ME's office, I'm going to allow the Commonwealth to get into that through questioning. Same with the station nightclub fire, based on the testimony already in evidence. Those 2 areas, and Mr. Jackson, without leading, you can certainly go back and rehabilitate her. But those 2 will come in. I'm not going to do anything with Tompkins because I used it for the basis of keeping out what appeared to me to be biomechanical engineering opinions of this witness, and she's not qualified to do that. So I have not read Patino. I will read it over the lunch break and see if we get anywhere with that. Okay, so I need a copy of that. I want you to give Mr. Jackson a copy as well.
I will.
Okay?
He has a copy.
Okay, so,
I didn't know that. I appreciate that.
all right.
The only other thing, I don't know if you want to handle it now or after lunch or later, but I want to address the issue of the 3 personnel.
Okay, so let's mark those now.
Sure.
Thank you.
Can we mark them all as 1 A, B, C?
I have no preference one way or the other. It's just 3. They're all.
Mr. Jackson, if you can I just see it over here?
Of course.
Just hold up the size. ID, yeah.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. It's to mark.
You know what, show me that one again too, please. Okay.
It says R on it.
Exhibits H, quadruple H, and I, through I.
Oh, all right. All right. Mr. Brennan, there's no objection to these coming in through another witness, so you agree that they'll be coming into evidence?
I'll stipulate
All right. And what's the objection to them coming in through Dr. La Posada?
it's not part of her report or opinion. And she's gone beyond her report, talking about the fact that she's studied x-rays and given an opinion. I think that suffices. It really, I think, is beyond the scope of her testimony to begin with. I'd be gracious with it. stipulate to these, I'm sure Dr. Rentschler will utilize them if stipulated.
So you'll stipulate to them prior to Dr. Rentschler?
I will.
So you can use them with Dr. Rentschler?
I expected that I could because he certainly used them in his analysis and opinion. But I should be subject to the entry of evidence in the defense case in chief. I understand I can use them in Dr. Rachler's testimony, but I want to use them with Dr. Lafasada. She's a medical doctor.
Would you?
Consider them for purposes of her opinion. I cannot understand.
So what do you want to ask her about them?
Are these the X-rays that you reviewed? Yes, that's it. That's
Okay.
it.
Okay. So go ahead.
If that's all he's going to ask, I won't have a problem.
Okay. Yeah, I have no problem with that in that form.
That's it. Literally, these are the X-rays that we talked about a little bit earlier. Yes. This is the right hand. Yes. That's the arm. The forearm. Yes. That's the upper arm.
All right. So they're cumulative, but if they're coming in anyway, I will let you put them in.
Thank you.
All right. So the last thing is Dr. Rentschler. I need to hear argument from both sides. I have a new PowerPoint. So I'll hear both of you. Mr. Brennan, I'll hear you on your motion.
We've received the most recent update to Dr. Rentschler's PowerPoint. There are some additions, different analysis in that PowerPoint. This is within 24 hours of him testifying. There are opinions on page 6 and 8 of his May 7, 2025 report. And there are a number of numbers that we have objections to. Dr. Rentschler just generally shouldn't be allowed to express opinions and conclusions about what he thinks about the case or about other witnesses.
All right, so I'm looking, I think, at the new,
Do you have a copy of the new one?
from today, page 6.
Thanks.
So what I have are just photos with measurements, so I don't know what the testimony that corresponds with those. I've read, obviously, the report of Dr. Rentschler from May 7th. That does not seem to detail everything, and that's no criticism. I'm just saying it's a scant report, so I don't know what the opinions are regarding these.
I'm sorry. Yep.
I
Please.
didn't want to speak over Mr. Brennan, I apologize. I just wanted to let the board know that we talked that out now. We went through, based on Mr. Brennan's suggestions last night, and significantly edited the entire thing. Literally every single slide that we had a problem with. There were a couple that we disagreed with and we left, but it's very rare.
I see that a lot of the hearsay has been removed.
And I can identify this report as helpful.
Thank you.
I'm sorry?
I can identify this report as helpful, the ones that were changed.
All right.
It made streamline this.
So what do you both, I'm going to hear from Mr. Brennan first. What are you objecting to as the report now stands?
I have a most recent copy of the report now. So 9 through 27,
Slides 9 through 27 or pages?
slides 9 through 27 now have Dr. Rentschler identifying and attempting to match different abrasions with different holes in Mr. O'Keefe's sweatshirt. And so basically what he is trying to do is to suggest that there are a different amount of abrasions relative to the amount of holes, or perhaps he might want to testify about
that the holes in the sweatshirt were in a different place on Mr. O'Keefe's arms than the abrasions. The reason why this is concerning is because there is no background for him regarding fabrics. This is a different and new opinion that we have not prepared or obtained an expert for. We probably have very little time to get somebody to rebut this analysis regarding fabrics. I don't see anything in his CV or his history that allows him to equate the number of holes in fabric with the number of abrasions on somebody's arm. It does not consider or account that there could be multiple wounds from one hole, or there could be holes that don't create wounds. So whatever the implication is going to be by Dr. Rentschler, we're not very sure, but it obviously would require some type of expertise, which I do not think that Dr. Rentschler has a foundation for. So those are 9 through 27 generally, and then specifically.
You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Nick Sturtevant. Right there, you're watching live inside the courtroom, Karen Reed trial, week 8. You're looking live in there. And look, with Live Impact News, we will get you back there as soon as we can. I know they go back and forth with sidebars and recess and different things happening on the stand. But as soon as we get more from, or as soon as we have the time and have the opening, we'll get you back there to this trial.